So, hi everybody. Just a quick question for you. How many of you are using Cloud Code? Oh, some of you. So, hi. I've been writing code since 35 years. So, I've built several companies, had one successful exit, and today I'm the co-founder and CTO of Edgely. So, Edgely build voice AI for seniors. Our mission is simple, so help all people stay at home, stay independent, and stay mentally active. So our agent handle boring logistics, the phone call, appointment, this kind of stuff, the coordination of caregiver, so that family can spend real time with their parents and not calling insurance companies. We are too human. We are into the 0 to 1 phase, so we are still hunting product market fit. So now, quick warnings. So if you read the abstract of this talk I did in January, forget it. So it was 3 months ago. 3 months ago is 3 months in this field is a lot. It's a lifetime. So I won't give you the talk I promise. I would do better. So because the game moved, I moved also. And this is, by the way, the first lesson I want to share with you. So here is where we are. So we are living in a paradigm shift. It's not a revolution. A revolution burns everything down and starts from scratch. A paradigm shift rewires what already exists. And this is bigger than the steam engine and the robot factory, and it just started. But it does not hit everyone at the same speed. So startup mutate first by design, because a startup has nothing to unlearn. We have scale-up followings, and we have also enterprise, so it's more in the next 5 years. So if you work in a startup, you are already in, and if you work in a scale-up, your playbook is just moving on. And if you work in a big company, you have a little more time, but not as much as your CFO is thinking. So either way, this talk is for you. So let me tell you what's actually changed. So because most of people get this clearly wrong. So everybody talk about agentic AI, whatever. Agents are great, okay, but agents are not the breakthrough. Agents are a little boost on top of the breakthrough. The real breakthrough is something much smaller. It's a little Boolean. I will explain you. So a large language model, LLM, is one thing. You give it a context, and you will get the network predictions. So that's it. You ask a question, you will get an answer. And for a long time, that's what all we have for codings. So it was step one, Stack Overflow, you all know that. So you type something, you search, you copy paste, and you adapt. So this is the baseline. Step two, code completions. Copilot arrived, the machine learned your style and finished your line. It felt magical. So it was actually the smallest jump in the history. So if in my own metrics, entirely subjective to be honest, it may be about 30% faster. Not a big jump, but not life-changing, but it was nice. Step three, code generations. So the model got better. It can generate small project, entire file, entire classes, okay, but you still have to copy paste everything. The machine wrote, you copy paste, you move the text around, it was better, 2 times faster perhaps. And then the real step 4. So it was tools plus agent loop. So this is the moment everything just changed. So the model learned how to read file, edit file, run commands, search on the web, fix text, run everything. And most important, it learned one more thing, how to say, hey, I'm not finished yet. So this is the little Boolean, which is the paradigm shift. So my friend Edis gave Wednesday a talk about the full pattern of agents, and we only need one of these. One to make my point. Because if you combine next word predictions with tools and the not done yet Boolean, you can actually work on the whole code base. It can generate code, build, read error, fix it, run it again until it works. So this step literally vaporized my whole workload by a 30%, 30 factors. So what took me about 1 month now take me 1 day or 2. And the step 5 is agents. So multiple agents, sub-agents, parallel works, this reduced by 2 my works. So it's great, but it's not the most important, as you can understand. It's really nice, and to be honest, to cut by 2. But if you remember one thing, if you are to remember one thing from these sections, so the breakthrough is not agents, it's a tiny little Boolean saying, not done yet. Keep going. So the machine now can write code better than most human, so 100 times faster. So me, you, in my best day, we can write, I don't know, 800 lines of code. The machine will do that in 20 minutes. They write the same things, and to be honest, it is almost as good as yours and mine. So the question becomes clearly uncomfortable. What are we doing here? So I'm not going to talk about the latest software, latest cloud skills, whatever, open cloud. The software that you are using today will be obsolete in the next 6 months. So I'm going to talk about the shift of paradigms and the shift in your head. So 3 words you need to remember: judgment, test, deletions. So the first word is judgment. So writing code used to be the hard part, 80% of your work. So doing the review is only 20%, specification review 20%. Okay. Today, writing code is almost free. So the scarcity moves. The scarcity is no longer the writing, it is the decisions. So here is a line I want you to remember. When everything is cheap to build, knowing what not to build becomes the entire job. So this is the first word, judgment, choosing what not to build. The second word is test. So here is the thing. You can no longer read every line of code. Surprise! So you need a new way to review your code. So I don't read any line of code anymore. I read the shape, I look at the structure of the project, is it organized, does it follow clean principle, DDD, I look at the data model because the data is what you save, I look at the list of features, I check if nothing was secretly was added by the AI, I look at the end-to-end test because end-to-end test is what real user scenario are using, so is it working? What I do not look anymore is any line of code. I review the shape of the forest, not the bark of each tree. And here is something I want every developer remember. Cloud.md is your new spec. So specification no longer live in a wiki page that no one is reading. It's a living document sitting in your repository, read by every agent, executed before every decision. So it describes what company build, company what not build, and how to build it. So human read it, machine read it. It is a single source of truth. So if you had only one advice to engineering practice for this talk, okay? Cloud MD is really important. Do it on the next Monday. Treat it like your constitutions. Make it precise, make it short. So this is the second word, test. And the third word is deletions. And this is the most counterintuitive word of the 3. So when you write code and when writing code becomes free, the cost moves. It is no longer the writing the issue. It is the maintenance. So every feature you keep, every line you keep, every process you keep, it is weight. and wait will slow you. So today, my biggest problem at Edgely is not generating code, is to maintain code I've generated. So as machine can write in 10 minutes, so they can write so much code that you cannot review in 1 week. So if I don't delete code, I drown. So now what I do, I delete feature, I delete code, I delete entire week of work if it doesn't work. It's not really a problem. So in 2020, a great CTO is someone who added a lot. In 2026, a great CTO is someone who's deleting a lot. So judgment, test, deletion. This is the 3 words you need to remember. So now a second concept. I will be the bad guy. So this one is more technical, but it changed everything. So everybody talks human in the loop, okay, keep the human in control, check every decisions, approve every actions. Okay, I'm going to tell you the opposite. Human out of the loop. So remember the agent loop. So that tiny boolean saying, okay, I'm not finished yet. This is the reason you're faster, because nobody is stopping the loop. So the loop runs until you sleep, whatever, the machine write code, run tests, fix it, write another files, and again until it works. So the moment you put a human in the loop, in the middle of that loop and break it, you kill the multiplier. You're back to Stack Overflow. So your job is to get out of the loop, not because humans don't matter, that's not the point. Human matter for many things like judgment, human matter for test, human matter for deletions. So you do not matter really for checking if unit tests are passing. We don't care anymore. So how do you get it out? You automate everything. You automate the check, you automate the end-to-end, you automate the linting rule, you automate the security rule, really important. And you write guideline in your cloud.md because it's better to have something say, if the file is too big, okay, split it using DDD and clean principles. You write that once and it will be executed forever. So I've got specialized skills. I've got skill for generating code. I've got skill for refactoring. I've got skill for redesigning UI, so getting screenshots, sending to ChatGPT images, getting new UI, implementing that automatically, looping, doing the refactoring, committing, following rules, whatever. So the human belong at the decision points, really important. The human don't belong elsewhere. We don't want to do checkpoints. We want to decide what the AI is doing. So get out of the loop, stay in judgment. So third concept, really interesting, security. Woo! So Catherine gave a keynote yesterday about cloud conspiracies. So she warned us about what agentic tool really ask and why we should care about. So here is what happened to me. I installed OpenClaw. Who installed OpenClaw? No one? Oh, some of you. So 3 weeks ago, I decided to test it. It is an agentic AI, so you connect your email, calendar, files, cloud, whatever, and it runs everything automatically. So it drafts replies, summarize meeting, schedule things, nice, cool on papers. So I installed that on fresh VPS, configured it carefully, at least. I was aware about the troubles. I connected a test email, installed default skills. 12 hours later, only 12 hours later, I was locked out of my own machines. Someone has just taken control of it. Okay, so I thought, my fault, I was sloppy. So I wiped the VPS, rebuilt it with hardening. I isolated credential, whatever, everything I think about, and I installed OpenClaw again. So 24 hours, okay, I was locked again out of my machine. Same attack vector. You guess what? No? The skills. So the skills was compromised. So here is what I learned. Skills, MCP, and third-party agents are your new supply chains. So, and nobody is doing threat model on them. So we spent 20 years checking, auditing pip package, scanning Docker images, checking all dependency, okay? And we just run install magic stuff from skill or whatever from internet and run it with all rights connecting to your emails, database, whatever. So we forgot everything we learned. So I'm not saying don't use this tool, okay? They are really powerful. I'm saying read the skill before, isolate credentials, use sandboxes, use throwaway VPSs. Assume everything is your enemy, so check it before. Fourth and last concept, money is really important when you're starting companies. So because you're a CTO, you're not just the developer guy, you're also the guy who manages money. And the map just has changed. So before, a SaaS startup was mainly investing in people. So it, let's say about 70% in people and salaries, 20% marketing, 10% infrastructure. Can change. So most of the cost, salaries. So today, my budget look really different. It's more 20% on people, 10% credit, 8% on growth and marketing, 60%, sorry, and remaining infra, of course. And let me be very clear on that. Nobody was fired. So the math just changed. HG was born with 2 humans. We did not reduce from 12 to 2, okay? So this is what we call smaller by design. And you don't cut, you just start lean. And one sentence on VC and fundings. So they already updated their plan. So if you walk into a fundraising meeting with a team plan that was like 2 years old with 12 people and the 2-year roadmap, they just get your deck and put it in the trash. That's what's happening. So 3 things to remember. First, embrace the principles, not the softwares. So the software you use today will be obsolete in 6 months. Cloud Code, Cowork, OpenClaw, whatever is hot this morning, it will change clearly. So stop betting on your software, your practice, whatever. Embrace the principles, judgment, test, deletions, and human out the loop, and keep it in control. So those principles will be there in 5 years. Second, the real breakthrough is not what you think, it is also already behind you. So it was not the agent, it is a tiny little boolean that say, I'm not finished. So if you didn't try Cloud Code, try it this weekend. Third, your new supply chain is wide open. So skill MCP, third-party agents, so treat them the way you're treating dependency or even worse. You can threat model them. They are very, very dangerous. And one last thing, if you're interested, so this afternoon in the same room, we have Geoffrey Hentley, the author of the RAF Loop. He will take this further. So I'm talking about what to be a CTO in a startup. He will tell you what it means for the whole industry. So don't miss it. Thank you.